Hi friends, today we are going to be talking about nonfiction text features. Writers use text features to help readers to find information and to better understand the information that they're presenting. So we are going to talk about some text features today. And I'm going to just tell you some of them, tell you what they are, and then we're going to really dig into a real book and look at them in a book and look how they're presented. So we have already talked about in our fiction unit about how important the title is. It's still super important with nonfiction as well. So then we're going to look at headings where they just name the chapter of the book. Then they are going to have subheadings, just the smaller parts of the chapter. The table of contents, that's going to come at the beginning, and it's going to tell the page where each chapter begins. There's going to be a caption. It's going to give you some information about the picture that is presented. There's going to be bold-faced words. These are used to emphasize important words. They're just going to be very dark. They're going to be a dark text. And then the glossary. It's kind of like a little dictionary, and these bold-faced words will be in the glossary. So these dark words will be actually defined in your glossary. And lastly, we have the index, and that's going to be at the back of the book. And it's going to tell you where important ideas are and then the pages that they are associated with. And then the writer's also going to use some graphic aids like photos or illustrations. They may use a chart or a table using rows and columns to present a large amount of information, a diagram to show labels or parts of something, a graph showing numbers of things rather than telling you, they'll show you. They may show you a map to show you places, and then they also may present a timeline that's listing facts in order in which they happened. All right, so let's look at a real book. This is a real place, the San Diego Zoo. So this is a nonfiction book. It is telling you all about the San Diego Zoo. So we are looking at the title here. So we know already at the beginning what we're going to be learning about in this book. We're going to be learning about the San Diego Zoo. So we see here we have the title. And then we also have the table of contents. It's normally one of the first pages of the book, and it's going to tell you in order. Notice these numbers, and they are going, down in order. So they're going to start at the beginning of the book on page 2. This is going to be the introduction. So if I wanted to, I don't necessarily have to read this book beginning from the introduction. What if I said, I'm really curious at the San Diego Zoo. The part about Africa, I wonder what that's like. I could just go to Africa, go over here, and I can flip straight to page 84 and start reading about Africa at the San Diego Zoo. Now, with a fiction book, could I skip to page 84? Would I know what was going on in a fiction book if I just opened it up to page 84 and started reading? No, I would have missed all of the plot. But I can do that in a nonfiction text. So I know that the table of contents is really important because it helps me to understand how the text is laid out. Let's dig into this book a little bit. Let's go to page 84 and let's look at Africa. So what draws my eyes is beautiful zebra. So they show you a photograph of this zebra. They show you a photo. I see that this says right. A lot of times there might be, in this example, more than one photo on a page. So they are explaining that this information goes with this photo on the right. We call this the caption. This caption is explaining this photo. We also have another text feature here, a map. It is showing you the location of Africa. Here we have the subheading, Africa. We have another caption down here. And these are all text features. These help us to better understand and help our reader understand the San Diego Zoo. We know now we're Africa. We can picture it on the map. We can picture a rhinoceros, what that looks like. We understand that this is a picture of a zebra and it shows how the shadows and stripe distinguish their species. So rather than just reading about a rhino in Africa and a zebra, we're actually getting to see what those look like. All right, let's move on. So we see here, this is our glossary of terms. So we know that this is like a mini dictionary. There might be some words in here that we don't understand. So we know that we can come to the back of this book and we can learn what it means to be extinct. It means no longer living, contrasted to extant. And we know that graze means to eat grass. And notice that these are going in alphabetical order. So we start with adaptation and we end at placental. All right. And lastly, we see at the back of this book, the index. Notice the difference between the index and the table of contents. The index also goes in alphabetical order. And you're going to be able to look up, if you want to read about a chimpanzee, you can go in alphabetical order in the back of the book and know that a chimpanzee, you may go look at that on page 101. So if you have questions about text features, please let me know. Have a great day.